chip away every day. Soon the clay will fade away, and the hole you've dug in the dream you hug will be like a bug in your ear. Can't you hear? How do you kill the sunshine? How do you turn it out? Will you close your eyes to the cries and the lies in the law's disguise? And the light will fade in the evening shade, which is only made by the sun. Are you dumb? How do you kill the ocean? How do you make it dry? Will you first dilute, then pollute, cut the fruit at the root, and the ocean's floor will be like a whore who will lie no more, for she's dead. Use your head. How do you kill the country? How does she disappear? Will you trade your tent in for rent that will be spent on poured cement and the things that grew when the earth was new, which have nurtured you, will be gone. Blow your horn. How do you kill an idea? I live in a jingle, jangle, jungle. If you ain't got it, you can't be. Fighting over crumbs, wait till payday comes. Getting green ink thumbs from counting while it's mounting. In this jingle, jangle, jungle I call home. You live in a jingle, jangle, jungle. If you can't earn it, you ain't free. Where life is spent trying to meet the rent, paying back the cent you borrow some tomorrow. In this jingle, jangle, jungle you call home. So keep on working hard to keep your own backyard. Teach your kids that God ain't fiction, contradiction. In this jingle, jangle, jungle you call home. I live in a jingle, jangle, jungle. If it don't jingle, it's gonna fold. All the things you own are only here on loan. It's by bread alone you're living. Call this living. In this jingle, jangle, jungle we call home. I live in a jingle, jangle, jungle, where people die to make some green. Turning men to boys, making new war toys, dancing to the noise of ticker. Can't get much sicker. In this jingle, jangle, jungle we call home. Precious loot, I lose precious loot, I lose precious loot, I lose precious loot. There was a White Mouse consultation down at the county fair. All the church mice, field mice, not so nice mice, everybody gathered there. You see the monkey was speaking, telling them where it was at. He said, here, here, there ain't nothing to fear except a three-eyed Siamese cat, and the crowd was stunned. See, no single mouse had ever seen one. He said, don't be scared, we're prepared. Then he held up a great big picture so every mouse could see what a three-eyed Siamese cat looked like, the face of the enemy. And the crowd let out such a shudder as they lined up file and rank, staring at a 20-foot picture frame surrounding a 20-foot blank, just empty space. But every single mouse swore he saw a face. He said, don't be scared, we're prepared. Then the muck started screaming, yelling till his voice gave out. He said, now that you've seen what the cat looks like, gonna tell you what it's all about. He said he don't eat cheese on Friday, he goes around licking his paws. He's awful mean and he loves to keep clean and believes in changing laws, and the crowd went wild. And every mouse began to fear for his child. Don't be scared, we're prepared. Now 2 times 2 is 45, Muck explained. And the flat side of the moon is green, and the farmer don't need no rain. And the night is light, and might is right, and Super Mouse is on our side. And the three-eyed Siamese cat's a plague from which nobody can hide, and the mice all cringed. The whiskers of that cat would soon be singed. Don't be scared, we're prepared. Then the muck started singing through his great paternal grin. And the church mice, field mice, all the patriotic mice, everybody chimed right in. They sang, this land is mice land, mice country 'tis of thee. Well, my father took it from the beaver rat, and nobody's gonna take it from me. And the mice all cheered. The sound that they were making sure was weird. Don't be scared, we're prepared. Then the muck said, line up here, everybody give a buck. Then fight the three-eyed Siamese cat, takes money and a little bit of luck. We got 1 million of our best young mice to go out and volunteer, to give up what they're living for, to make the cat disappear. Let's give them a hand, yay! We don't want that cat invading our land. No way, we're not scared, we're prepared. Then a mighty strange thing happened. I guess you could call it fate. You see, a gust of wind blew the picture frame down and it landed on the mucky muck's head. And the mice, they all went crazy. For the first time they saw the light. It was all a hoax on just simple folks, and the muckety muck must die, and die it did. The members of his staff, they just fled. They were scared, just not prepared. I was sitting by the bank on a hollow stump when I thought I heard me a bullfrog jump. Turned around and sure enough there he sat. He said, "Excuse me, buddy, but I've been reading your news and I'm sorry to say that I'm a little confused. You being human, well, you know where it's at." He said, "I read where this old world's gonna fold and all on kind of a thing called gold, and that's something hard for us frogs to understand. Now you looking at me like I'm kind of funny, but where I live, we don't have no money. So we want to be hip to the happenings here on land." Now I thought I was stoned, so I started walking. I mean, whoever heard of a bullfrog talking? But then I realized I hadn't been grazing no grain. So I figured I'd tell him just what I thought about how gold was sold and how gold was bought, and he'd understand our world when I explained. I said it all started a long time ago when the people first learned to reap and sow. They got all the things that they needed right out of the earth. Like how many leaves and how many trees would it take to cover up the anatomies? That's how you figured how much a suit of clothes was worth. Well, then, man, he learned how to milk a cow and how to till the soil with a stone blade plow, and he kept so busy he never had time to do you harm. Then he'd take his produce and all that milk and go into town and trade him for silk so his woman, she'd look sharp down at the farm. Well, the bullfrog let out a belly croak, like I told him some kind of a joke, and he said, "I think you're jiving me, my man." "What, me?" I said, "I know it sounds kind of mystifying, but the truth of the matter is that I ain't lying. I mean, I ain't talking no bullfrog, you understand?" He said, "Now, don't get upset, I'm not a guinea. You just go ahead and continue, and I'll be quiet and try to understand." He said, "I know about trees and leaves and plants and milk and silk and the farmer's romance, but what's this thing they call supply and demand?" I said, "Well, I grow cotton and you grow corn, and you find your dungarees are all worn, and me, well, I got to have something to eat, you see? So I make you some brand new threads, and now you bake me some fresh cornbread, and pretty soon we'll have shops across the street." Well, this didn't work, or so we've been told, and at that time they didn't know about gold, so they all agreed they'd measure their goods in salt. Well, that idea had an early ending, because they were eating more than they were spending, and besides, whoever heard of keeping salt in the vault? Say, I wonder if you could turn your radio down just a little bit, mister. Thank you. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah, I remember. Well, folks said gold was the thing to use, to pay for stuff like from ships to shoes, but it weighed too much and it looked too good to spend. So round about 1690, somebody started using folding money, and that's the tale, my friend, from end to end. Well, I thought it was a damn good explanation. I mean, a real attempt at communication. And I only had me schooling up till the time I was 10. But the bullfrog, right before he hopped away, well, I could have sworn I heard him say, "Your world's still in the tadpole stage, my friend." Now, I wonder what he meant by that. And I wonder how come he picked up and left so quick. Must have been something I said. I paid regular. Always brush my teeth. I drop all my change when they pass the plate. I mean, oh, what do bullfrogs know anyway? Wetting it down, boss. Wet it down. Wiping it off, boss. Wipe it off. To Doing 10 to 20 hard, swinging 12 pounds in the yard every day, every day. I came in with a group of 20, there ain't left but half as many in the clay, in the clay. Long line rider, turn away. There's a farm in Arkansas, got some secrets in its floor, in decay, in decay. You can tell where they're at, nothing grows, the ground is flat, where they lay, where they lay. Long line rider, turn away. All the record shows so clear, not a single man was here anyway, anyway. That's the tale the warden tells as he counts his empty shells by the day, by the day. Hey, long line rider, turn away. Someone screams, investigate. Excuse me, sir, it's a little late. Let us pray, let us pray. This kind of thing can't happen here, especially not in an election year. Out of my way, out of my way. Hey, long line rider, turn away. There's a funny taste in the air, big bulldozers everywhere, digging clay, turning clay. And the ground coughs up some roots, wearing denim shirts and boots. Haul 'em away, haul 'em away. Hey, long line rider, turn away. Well, I heard a brother moan, why they plowing up my home in this way, in this way. I said, buddy, shake your gloom, they're just here to make more room in the clay, USA. Whatever you've done, it's all over. Wherever you've been is so strange. Yesterday's long gone forever. Damned if what you're feeling isn't change. Music that used to seem hollow now seems to fit in your range. Today is the now and the never. Damned if what you're feeling isn't change. It's fun to wander along a yesterday road, trying so hard to retain all of the wondrous and beautiful times that never can happen again. So get yourself up off your past, friend. There's so much to rearrange. Tomorrow sits right next to never. Damned if what you're feeling isn't change. I cannot make it, girl, through the day. Ah, babe, but I can see the wind. I cannot seem to make my way. Ah, babe, but I can see the wind. Floating smoke, let it father me. Ah, babe, but I can see the wind. What man is doing doesn't bother me. Ah, babe, 'cause I can see the wind. I do not seem to hear myself. Ah, babe, but I can see the wind. I am a part of something else. Ah, babe, but I can see the wind. Shadowed clouds may smother me. Ah, babe, but I can see the wind. Letting out the other me. Ah, babe, but I can see the wind. The space around me isn't anymore. Ah, babe, but I can see the wind. I think I'm standing, but there is no floor. Ah, babe, but I can see the wind. Some uninvited thing is standing near. Ah, babe, but I can see the wind. Isn't that a funny name, Miss Fear? Ah, babe, but I can see the wind. 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 I can see the Sunday, where has what you stood for gone? Sunday, have you been asleep? You say keep the faith, but there's no faith to keep. Sunday, master of a dying breed. Sunday, lying in a heap. You say keep the faith, but there's no faith to keep. Sunday, virgin child who can't wear white. Sunday, much too late to weep. You say keep the faith, but there's no faith to keep. Sunday, telling lies eyes on history. Sunday, ain't you in too deep? You say keep the faith, but there's no faith to keep. Sunday, bow down to the blood you've shed. Sunday, bodies piled so steep. You say keep the faith, but there's no faith to keep. Sunday, build your house of solid gold. Sunday, let the people sleep. You say keep the faith, but there's no faith to keep. You say keep the faith, but there's no faith to keep. He's a ruthless opportunist, and he motivates by greed. He's just the way his father was, and that we sure don't need. So they all cried out, destroy him, for he wants to see us drowned. They never understood him, so they put him in the ground. Now some had stood for hours, and some sat on the grass, listening to their radios for where the train had passed. And a crowd will get impatient as the clock hands turn around. They never understood him, so they put him in the ground. They handed out some candles to the somber, weary crowd, and told us not to light them till our eyes beheld the shroud. Not even at that moment could there be tranquility. I could feel them push and argue. Hey, sit down, I cannot see. They never understood him, so they put him in the ground. When the fathers closed their Bibles and the family left the sight, the ropes and walls and hedges kind of faded in the night, replaced by all the people who made a prayerful sound. They never understood him, so they put him in the ground. Some people say the 8th of June, but the morning of the 9th, the workmen gently lowered him by the beam of 3 work lights. Easy, take it easy. Set him down real slow. He'd been on some rougher trips, but he couldn't tell them so. They never understood him, so they put him in the ground. Now Now no man has the answers, and he was just a man. And yet I can't help feeling that he knew a better plan, a shorter road to justice on the trip that's freedom bound. But they never understood him, so they put him